Hey y'all, welcome back. Today I will be sharing how to write a bi-weekly budget if you get paid every 2 weeks. So if you're interested, just keep on watching. For the budget we will be working with today, I will be going off of my previous income as a CNA, which was $12.50 an hour, and that's approximately $2,000 a month. Gross income, what you would do, you would use your net income, only you bring home. I'm just keeping it at 2,000 to make the numbers even. So that's $12.50 an hour times 40 hours a week times 4 weeks in a month, $2,000. So living paycheck to paycheck, having no savings already, being a single parent with 3 kids, also receiving around $600 a month on SNAP food stamps. At one point in time, when my husband was out of state, I did receive food stamps. This is a guess. I'm thinking it was around that much, so I'm just saying 600. And then we will also cover the 1040 savings challenge. I don't know. I may get to discuss these in this video, or you may see them in the savings challenge video. But either way it go, let's get started. The first step to writing your budget, you need to make a plan. You need to plan out what you're going to do with that money. So we will be working with February of 2024. In February, you'll either get a paycheck on the 8th and the 22nd, or you'll get a paycheck on the 1st, the 15th, and the 29th. Okay, so I got those written out. And then going off that budget of $12.50 an hour, if you do the math, then you subtract the $5 automatic savings, that'll put you at $9.95 a paycheck. So for 2 paychecks, you'll bring in $19.90, and for 3 paychecks, you'll bring in $29.85. Okay, and we do know that we receive $600 in SNAP every month. Okay, so with this budget plan, I will write out both. So let's see. I'm just gonna split the page. Let me use my ruler just to keep it even as much as I can. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, so I messed up. Okay. So with this, we'll do a budget. That's just a little scribble. I messed up, y'all. We'll do a budget plan for both. So starting with the 2 paychecks, what do we know? That's our income. The very first thing we need to do is track our expenses. What do we spend money on? We need to first start with the fixed expenses. Okay. Fixed expenses are bills like rent, electric, car note, stuff that you have to pay. They usually don't change. They'll stay around the same amount every month. So that's what you call fixed expenses. And the fixed expenses we have are rent. We have phone. That's 80. Okay. We have the gas bill. And when you listing out your plan, it is best to write all your expenses in order by due date. Keep them in order just so you can stay on track with how you paying them bills. So $50 for the gas bill, then the 24 for the water, and I'm just doing a basic budget. But of course, you would include car note, car insurance, or anything else that's a fixed in expense that you have to pay. Okay, so we got 700 plus 80 plus 50 plus 50 plus 200. Okay, so the total of fixed expenses is $1,080. Now let's do the math and subtract the total expenses. So our total income is 1990 minus 1080, and that leaves $910 remaining. So remaining 910. Okay, so we have our fixed expenses. The next step is to list out all your variable expenses. Variable expenses are things that change. Like for me, I have to do groceries because I'm always grocery shopping, and we're a big family, so we need groceries. I do saving because that's a priority for me. But if you're a person who eats out a lot, once you sit down and track your expenses in your expense tracker book, and you see that, okay, I've been spending a lot of money eating out, you might need to make that a category. That way you can just plan for it instead of just randomly spending money. Okay, another category that I want all of us to do is called miscellaneous. And the reason for this one is because, like I said before, we will mess up. We will make mistakes, but it's okay. We'll just need to plan for those mistakes. We don't know how much we will go over, go under, because we hadn't really sat down and thoroughly went through the expenses. You would need to go through your bank statements and all your receipts and see what you spend money on. But since we haven't done that, then we don't know where we spending money, and we know we'll mess up. And so we're gonna plan for that. We'll save some money in this miscellaneous folder. That way, when you get to shopping, you buying your groceries. If you get to I keep saying folder, but I mean envelope. If you get to the grocery store and you only have $50 left in this envelope, but you need $63, you would take the other $13 out of this miscellaneous, and then you would come home and you would get your expense tracker. I put this in another video why we'll be using this, but then you would come home and you would sit down and you would write out that expense. Um, Only what came out of miscellaneous folder, because that's how we're gonna keep up with what we doing, what we spending money on. So we'll just track that in here. And then the other category that I'm doing is household. Okay, but like I said, you can do gas for your car. You can do money for your kids. If you give your kids an allowance, you can do just whatever variable expense that you need to do. Now we have the variables listed out. So how much will we put in these? How to know is tracking your expenses. That's why it's important. You would look back over them statements and see how much you've been spending. Okay, so for this budget, I'll say that I noticed that I've been spending $300 extra on groceries. I get that SNAP $600 a month, but I still been spending cash about $300 a month, and then saving for this paycheck with 910 left. I'm not gonna try to hit the 20% mark, but I'm just gonna budget for about 200. For miscellaneous, we don't know how much we'll mess up, but it shouldn't be too much over. I'm just guessing. I'm doing 200, and that's from looking back over the expenses, seeing that how much I've been spending on stuff. And then for household, I noticed that I spend about $100 a month on household stuff. So you add that up. Okay, so that's $800, and that leaves a remaining we'll do 910 minus 800, and that leaves $110 remaining. Okay, so out of this $110, we can't have any money left over. We working on a zero-based budget, and that means we need to get this down to zero. We need to assign every dollar to something. And so what I did, my previous budget for the weekly budget was I added in nails. If you're a woman, this budget is for a woman. who has kids. So if you like to get your nails done, you can add that in. I said I budgeted for nails. They'll be, well, maybe I'll write it right here. For nails, I'm just saying that they are $40 a week. So we'll take that. So $40 a week, and we'll get them done twice. So that's $80. So then that 110 minus 80, that leaves you with $30. Okay, out of this $30, you can decide to do something else with it. But I think what I will do is just add it to savings, just because we're trying to save money. So I'm gonna add another 30 to savings, and that'll bring my balance down to 0, and that's where we want it at. Now let's do some math and split these bills up. Okay, so you got 2 paychecks coming for the month. This rent is due for March 1st. March 1st. Because right now it's the end of January. And with February coming up, you would already have February's rent that's due on the 1st. So this is March rent that we budgeting for. And so we have 2 paychecks. And instead of taking the whole 700 out of one paycheck, I like to split it up into 2 paychecks. So the rent is 700, and we're gonna divide that by 2 checks. So we know that we'll put $350 in each paycheck for rent. $350 each. And then okay. And then these, we get paid every 2 weeks. So I won't split these up just yet. But just know that with groceries, also we'll need we'll need to split these up, only because we get paid the first week and the second week. We won't have all of this money to take out of one paycheck. And so we'll need to take some out of this check, some out of that check. So we got 2 paychecks, and that's 300 divided by 2. Y'all know that's, so we'll do 150 a check. This one we'll do 100. This one we'll do 100. And this one 50. So we're just splitting it in half. Okay, down here we have nails. We can't forget that. That's $40 a paycheck. And then we also can't forget our savings right here. But we'll go figure that out on our calendar. The second step to our budget will be listing everything on the calendar. So we did all our thinking and planning on here. Now we'll just follow this plan over here. Okay, so what do we know? We know we get paid on the 8th and the 22nd, and it's $9.95 a paycheck. So on the 8th is payday, $9.95, and the 22nd is payday, $9.95. Okay, move on down. We know our rent. We paying out the first check and the second check. We're gonna split it by $350. So rent $350. Rent $350. Phone bill due on the 9th. We'll just keep the phone right there, and that's $80. The gas bill due on the 20th, $50. And the water bill 24th, that's $50. The electric on the 25th of $200. All right, so now we have all of our bills listed out. I like to get my highlighters and go ahead and highlight my weeks. So I use a different color for each week. This paycheck, I think I might do pink and green. So I will highlight my payday in one color, and then all the bills that go along with that payday, I will highlight with the same color. come on down. Gas bill, it has to be on that check also. And then I did pink for that one, so I'll do green for this one. So this paycheck, and then all the bills that goes along with this. Okay, moving on along. I do not put my variables on this calendar because they do. I didn't realize my camera had went out. But what I was saying is I don't list my variables on my calendar because they change. But what I did add was you have to put all your expenses on here. So we get our nails done. That'll be $80. It's $40 a paycheck. So I did add that to my calendar. I'm going on Saturday because I'm off that day. So I just every other Saturday, and then that $30 savings that we'll add is considered a fixed expense this week, even though savings is really a variable. But this one is fixed because I budgeted into my plan, and so I put it down here because we will need to budget for it. Next thing we'll do is write out our actual budget. We'll write the real budget, but I'm using scrap paper as a rough draft. And so for this, I like to use pencil. I like to use pencil because we will erase, we will mess up. So we'll have to erase some stuff. All right, so this is 2 paychecks. I get my budget plan out and I get my calendar so I can see what all I'm working with. And then this is 2 paychecks. So I will just split the page in half. All right, so first starting with our income. We get paid on the 8th. It'll be $9.95. We get paid on the 22nd. Oh, what am I doing? I always write the wrong thing. We'll get paid on the 22nd, and that one will be $9.95. Okay, so then you got your income. Now you plug in your expenses. So on the 8th paycheck, we'll pay the rent. So that'll be minus $350. $9.95 minus $350. That's $645. And we also have the phone, which is $80. So $645 minus $80 is $565. We're getting our nails done. That's $40. Okay, so that's minus $40. And that leaves $525. We also have the gas bill coming out this check, which is $50. So gas, that's minus 50. 525 minus 50. And that leaves $475. Okay, moving on to the 22nd. We have rent, $350. We know that's $645. We have water, that's $50. $595. We have nails, $40. $555. Change. Okay. And then we have electric, $200. That leaves $355. Okay, so we have all of our fixed expenses listed out. So now we'll go back and do our variables. So for variables, we have groceries, saving, miscellaneous. Oh, wait. Let me back up. When I wrote savings, it reminded me I had another savings right here. So I'll just add that. Probably two. I'll go ahead since I did it green. I'll do it on this check. But really, I mean, I don't know. That one have more money left, so I would have added it there because it's already more. So minus 30 for saving. Minus 30. Uh-oh. 355 minus 30. Okay. 325. Now, back on track. That's why you write out your budget plan. So if you math, not mathing, you can get it back right. Okay, so moving back to the variables, grocery saving, miscellaneous, and household. Okay, and for these, we budgeted, and I'll do the same here, groceries, saving, miscellaneous, household. This is scrap paper, so you don't have to write it all out on this one. Now let's plug in these numbers. Okay, groceries will be $150 each check. Savings will be $100. Miscellaneous $100. And household $50. Okay, so $325 is what we have left there, and $475 is left here. Okay, so starting with the first week, we will do $475. Well, $475 minus $150 minus $100 minus $100 minus $50. And that leaves us with $75. Okay, this one, $325 minus $150 minus $100 minus, oh wait, I messed up. $325 minus $150, this little bitty calculator, minus $100 minus $100 and minus $50. Okay, so right here we over budgeted by 75. Okay, so that just tells us that we got 75 too much down here and not enough up here. So the categories we have, that's variables, that's where we can move money. We don't. I really don't want to move from groceries, household, or miscellaneous just because I have to buy groceries and I have to buy the stuff for my household. I don't want to move anything because I want to be able to get that stuff. Miscellaneous, I don't know where I'll mess up, so I don't want to move any of that money. Saving is money that I won't be spending right now, so it's okay for me to move some money around with saving. So that's what I'll do. I'm over budgeted here by 75 and I'm under budgeted here by 75. So I need to take 75 off from saving. So it was already at 100 and we'll take 75 off. That'll leave us with 25 in saving, which will make this number change. But since I took 75 from this one, I'll move 75 up to this one. But pay attention. When you're moving from one to the other, you got to move it to the same category. So savings, go in saving. So now I took 75 from there. I'll add it to here. So instead of 100, now it'll be 175. Now this number will change. But if you're moving money, you can't move it from savings down here and put it in groceries up here or household and miscellaneous. You have to go same folder. envelope. Same envelope. Okay, so now we'll do the math and see if we got it right. 475 minus 150 minus 175 minus 100 minus 50. All right, and we made it down to a zero-based budget. That is the plan. 325 minus 150. We already know what it's going to be. 25, 150. See? This calculator, 325 minus 150. All right, I had to get quiet on that one because, that was getting on my nerves. But zero-based budget. So that's the goal and that's the plan, to get our number down to zero, which means that now all of our money is accounted for. Everything is budgeted out. And so we have our book. Remember, I told y'all to get this book and to come up with your financial goals and write it at the front of the book. The next page will be your budget. It should be January right there, but we didn't do January. So I have my February budget right here. So that's what you'll do is basically, let me finish it out. I just do it on scrap paper, and then I like for my book to be neat. So then I'll go back and just write it real neat in my book. And so that's basically I'm just copying 150, 175, 150, and it leaves us at zero. Okay, this one, 325. Oh. I'm gonna scribble it out just because if I had whiteout, I would use it, but I don't. But it's all right. 150, 25, 100, 50, and we at zero. So that's basically what I would do, and then I highlight it to match my calendar. So now this extra, throw it away. So now we have the budget plan. You won't really need this now because we wrote our plan out. So you really don't need this. But you do. Another thing when it comes to the SNAP, this right here, I budget that out too. Now, $600 a month. If you get paid every week, you would split it up by 4 weeks. If you get paid twice a month, so that's $600 a month, I would spend $300 right here and $300 right here. So I would go in the store with my food stamp card, planning to spend $300 of that plus this $150 from my envelope. So that'll be $450 worth of groceries for this check and $450 worth of groceries for this check. That way you don't spend everything all at once and you still have food to stretch out for the end of the month. So the first check, you'll plan and think about what all stuff you'll buy. Like, what do you buy every week? Milk, bread, the main stuff that you'll need for the foods you're going to cook for them first 2 weeks, the main stuff you're going to cook for them next 2 weeks, and go from there. Now let's get our envelopes ready. So we have our shoe box, whatever box you choose. You have your envelopes. You'll just take you some out. I'll have a few I've already done. So what you would do with your envelopes, you'll just sit down and you'll just write out all of your fixed expenses. So an envelope for rent, envelope for phone, envelope for the gas bill, envelope for the water bill, envelope for the electric bill, and then I'm also getting my nails done. Okay. For these, I use clips, but you don't have to use anything. You can just use a rubber band, a paper clip or something. Don't buy something. Okay, and then the other ones, we have to do our variables. So I have one for groceries, savings, miscellaneous, and household. And so your budget has to be written out before you get paid. Before you get paid, you write out your budget. You have all this ready to go. On payday, you'll go to the bank, take out $9.95, come home, sit down with this, and you will put $3.50 in that rent envelope, $80 in that phone envelope, and you'll just do it like that. Miscellaneous, you'll put $100 in that envelope. So that's how you would do that. But you also keep up with this calendar because you need to pay your bills on time. So you getting paid on the 8th. It's easy to just go ahead and make the payments on payday to get it out the way. But if you don't, you'll know you need to pay it the next day. So just pay attention to that. That money will be in this envelope anytime, all the time. So whenever you're ready to get your nails, that's fine. But that's the best way to do it that I found. With that, okay, last thing. Okay, let me move these. If you could screenshot this. Okay, we have our budget for February. We will work on our budget for March. And we'll work on a tax refund budget. I will have all of these videos out before February the 1st. Every video will be out. So this will give you plenty of time to look over all this information, look over all these videos, and it'll give you time to sit down and write out your own budget with your real income and everything, and be prepared. So right now, you should write out your February budget, but I also want you to screenshot this to be thinking about sinking fund categories. Sinking funds, that's stuff like Christmas, saving for a new car, stocking up your home, stuff like that. So I will start saving in some of these categories using my tax refund just because that will be extra money and it'll be a lot easier to start it then than on my regular paychecks. Also, these can be used as variable expenses. So variables on here that I see would be like eating out, or if you smoking. If you want some spending money, if you go shopping every week and you just want that, hobbies, just whatever that you do on a regular basis could be good for variable expenses. So be thinking about some categories that you would like to save for instance, Christmas. So February, if I want to shop for Black Friday, just say I want $1,000 saved up for Christmas, and I plan to shop Black Friday. I know that I need to have that $1,000 saved up by November something before Black Friday. So what I would do, I would sit down and figure out how many paychecks I'll get between now and then, divided by the number of paychecks, and that'll tell you how much you need to be saving every paycheck. So just think about these sinking fund ideas, and we'll get started on that with the tax refund. All right. So on this video, we did a budget plan for if you got paid on the 8th and the 22nd. The next one I will do if you get paid on the 1st, 15th, and the 29th. If you found any value in this video, I ask that you like the video and subscribe to my channel. It does help my channel grow. If you have any questions, comments, any ideas, leave them down in the comment section. I read all my comments and I will respond as soon as I can. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, a blessed week, a blessed year.